Good morning, students. In the last period, we started our first chapter, crop production and management. In that period, we learned about kharif crops and rabi crops and preparation of the soil. Up to agriculture implements we covered. Today we will see next part of this chapter. See agriculture implements. Agriculture implements. Before sowing the seeds, it is necessary to break the soil to the size of grains to better yield. This is done with the help of various tools. The main tools used for this purpose are the plug, hoe and cultivator. Now here, before sowing the seed, after the preparation of the soil, before sowing the seed, it is required to prepare and soil prepare and to break the soil and prepare the soil particles just like in a size of the grains to better yield, to better and proper mix up. And for that purpose we are using three instruments: plug, hoe and cultivator. And we will see how we are using these three instruments. Plug, we are already aware about that. Plug means in Marathi, we are in our local language we can call as an nangar. This is being used since ancient times for tilling the soil, adding fertilizers to the crop and removing the weeds, scraping the soil, etc. Now here I make you mention here the farmers when they are preparing soil, just before also they are adding the manure and fertilizers, and after the sowing also they are adding manure and fertilizers. Suppose they are in a open ground, they are giving they are applying cow dung manure in this way, and afterwards when they plugging, that time at that time these particles, these manure particles, it is properly mixed up with the soil. For that purpose here one line is mentioned: adding fertilizers to the crops. Next one, this implement is made up of wood and drawn by the bulls or other animals. And here in Maharashtra we are aware about that this implement can be made up of wood or iron, and it will be drawn by the pair of bulls. And other states, it will there the availability of the animals, they are using horses, camels and other animals. It contains strong triangular iron strip called plug share. Here you can see on the screen. Here downside triangular shape, triangular. It contains strong triangular iron strip called plug share, and the main part of the plug is a long wood which is called plug shaft. Here a long wood you can see that, and it is called as a plug shaft. There is a handle at the one end, handle at the one end handle at the one end of the shaft, and the other end is attached to the beam of which is placed on the bull's neck. Here in this picture you can see properly, it is attached on the it is attached to the other end, attached to the beam, and it is placed on the bull's necks, and one pair of the bulls and a man can easily operate the plug. Here you can see you can see in the picture, it's shown there. Now here the indigenous wooden plug is increasingly being replaced by plugs nowadays. Indigenous means like local. Now the people 10-15 years ago, 15 years ago, the people, they are using the wooden plugs. Nowadays these wooden plugs replaced by the iron plugs for the proper for proper deep penetration for that soil. Now the next point is hoe. It is a simple tool which is used for removing weeds and for loosening the soil. Weeds, the unwanted material, the unwanted plants which are growing with the crop plants, and this is unnecessary. This is not required. And what will be happen? They are compete with the crop plants. For that purpose, we have to remove it. In Marathi, in our local language, we are called as an तण. जे तण काढणं म्हणतो आपण, कोळपणी करतो ते instrument. It is simple tool which is used to remove weeds and for loosening the soil. It has a long rod of a wood or iron, a strong broad blunt plate of iron fixed to one of its ends, and work like a blade pulled by the animals. Work like a blade pulled like by animals. Now here on the screen you can see this see the picture of the hoe. Here it has a long rod. Here long rod is mentioned there under downside of a wood or iron, and a strong broad blend plate of iron. Strong broad blend plate of iron. Here downside iron plate you can see there, uh, is fixed to one of its ends, and the works like a blade, and it is pulled by the animals. Suppose two rows are there. We are aware about that in agriculture field. Two rows are prepared of the crops. One row, and between the two rows gap is prepared. In that gap some unwanted plants will be one unwanted plants are growing there, and we have to remove it because it is compete for the water, nutrients, sunlight with the our crop plants. And for the when they compete with the crop plants, that time crops they are not getting proper nutrients, and we are not getting proper crop production. For that purpose we have to remove it, and that purpose we are using the hoe instrument. Next one, cultivator. Nowadays plugging is done by cultivator. Nowadays plugging is done by the tractor driven cultivator, and the cultivator saves the labor and time. Cultivator, now it is yeah, it is an instrument which sow the seeds and and suddenly cover the soil over the seed, and that is why it saves the labor and time also. Next point, sowing. Sowing in Marathi, in a local language, पेरणी करणे. See, sowing is the most important part of crop production. Before sowing, good quality of seeds are selected. Good quality of seeds are clean and healthy seeds of a good variety. Farmers prepare to use seeds which give a high yield. Now, for the sowing purpose, farmers required a good quality of seeds, and which is clean and healthy, and which gives the more crop production, which gives the more quality and more crop production. And for that purpose, selection of the seeds, it is most important. For that purpose, one activity is given here, upper side. One activity is given, activity 1.1. See in the activity, take a beaker, or you can do this activity in your home also. You take one vessel or one pot, and filled half of it with water, and put handful of wheat seeds and stir it well. Wait for some time. Wait for some time, and after some time, what you see in the pot, some wheat seeds will be sink in the water, and they are settled at the bottom of the pot and bottom of the vessel, and some seeds are floating on the water. Now there the questions are arises. Are there seeds which float on water? There are some seeds which will float on water. Would those be lighter or heavier than those which sink? We are aware about that the material which is lighter, the material which has a high density, which will be the material which is heavier, that will be sink in the water, and material which will be lighter, that can be float on the water. Now here, next question, why would they be lighter? And the answer is, damaged seeds become hollow and are thus lighter, therefore they float on a water. How to separate the damaged seeds and healthy seeds? We have to take one vessel, we have to take half vessel water, and we have to put the grains in that. And some seeds, they sink in the water, and they are settled at the bottom of that vessel. And some seed particles, they are float on the water, and which are lighter one, which are hollow, and which is damaged seeds. Upper side, which are floating on the water, those are called as a damaged seeds, and those are sink in the water, those are called as a healthy seeds. In this way, farmers, they are separating the good or healthy seeds. This is good method for separating good and healthy seeds from the damaged ones. Before sowing, one of the important tasks to know about the tools used for sowing seeds. Now, up to this it is okay. We are removing seeds. We are removing healthy seeds from the damaged seeds. Damaged seeds, healthy seeds we are getting. But for the sowing purpose, now we have to check which tools are available. Which tools are available? From which tools we can use for the which tools we can use for the sowing purpose. Now see here. One first one is given traditional tool. First one is given traditional tool, and we are aware about that in the in this situation now. Sowing process is going on in whole Maharashtra. We can see this this traditional tool. The people who are using bulls, they are using this traditional tool. The tool used traditionally for the sowing seeds is shaped like funnel. Is shaped like funnel. नरसाळे जे की आपण दिव्यामध्ये किंवा ह्याच्यामध्ये रॉकेल ओतण्यासाठी वापरतो, funnel. The seeds are filled into the funnel. The seeds are filled into the funnel and passed on through the 2 or 3 pipes having sharp ends. Having sharp ends, and these ends pierce into the soil and place seeds there. And place seeds there. Now this has a funnel-like structures, and 2 to 3 pipes are there, and 2 to 3 pipes having sharp ends, and these ends pierce. They separating the soil. They separating they prepare and they separate the soil and place the seeds there, and they are placing seeds there. They are placing seeds there. In this way, traditional tools we are using. In this way, traditional tools we are using. The next one, seed drill. Next one, seed drill. Nowadays, the seed drill is used for the sowing with the help of tractors. With the help of tractors, this tool sows the seeds uniformly at proper distances. At proper distances and the depth. It ensures that seeds get covered with the soil after sowing, and this prevents damage caused by the birds. And sowing by using the seed drill saves labor, time and labor. Now nowadays seed drill is using, and it is used with the help of the tractor. It is drawn with the help of the tractor, and this tool sows the seeds uniformly at proper distances. Now suppose we will using the traditional tool, that time what will be happen? It is depends upon that person who are putting that grains in that particular funnel like structure. And suppose maybe human error will be there. They are throwing suddenly it left out some grains left out in that particular that funnel like structure. More will be released. That time what will be happen? 2 to 3 grains or 2 to 3 seeds will be placed at a particular place, at that particular same place. And that's why what will be happen? Their overcrowding will be there. Their overcrowding will be happen. Now when we are using seed drill, that time what will happen? When this tool sows the seeds, it uniformly at a proper distances, and a proper depth. It ensures that seed get covered by the soil after sowing, and suddenly it covered by the seeds. Those seeds are covered by the soil. In first traditional tool, what will be happen? When sowing seeds will be prepared, afterwards again we have to cover the soil with the help of another leveler. And this way it takes time and labors also. And up to this, when we are using traditional tool, that time suppose we are sowing, and afterwards it takes 10-15 minutes for cover the soil. In that time they are eating that particular seeds which we are sowing in that particular area. And this seed drill which prevents the damage caused by the birds, and sowing by the seed drills saves labor and time. Here up to this, and next one, an appropriate distance between the seeds is important to avoid overcrowding of plants. I already told that suppose 2 to 3 seeds are put in that same particular place, that time overcrowding will be there. And that time what will be happen? And not any other plant, not all the plants they are getting proper proper air, proper sunlight, proper nutrients, they are compete with each other. And for that purpose, what will be happen, we are not getting proper crop production, and it avoids, we have to avoid the overcrowding. Farmers, they have to avoid the overcrowding. This allows plants to get sufficient sunlight, nutrients, water from the soil. Sometimes a few plants have to be removed to prevent overcrowding. Now what will be happen, suppose overcrowding will be there, they cannot get sufficient sunlight, nutrients, water from the soil, and for that purpose we have to remove some plants from there to prevent the overcrowding. Because of overcrowding, we cannot get proper crop production. That for that purpose we have to remove some plants from there, and we will get the proper crop production. Up to this we will cover in this chapter. Remaining part we will see in the next period.